So what are your thoughts on that as far as what you've seen running campaigns as part of the CPMs increasing, decreasing? Or what will you do, or what is the recommendation that you have for people that are either already advertising online or thinking about advertising online? What do you think? Do you think will be the new strategy moving forward?
The new strategy, that's a different topic. As far as the ad rates go, March saw a dip, basically because one, you had all the retailers who pulled all their ad budgets because they don't have customers, and then a ton of travel industry also pulled their ad budgets, which is a huge advertiser, especially on the Google side. Less so on Facebook, but especially on Google. And then just a lot of companies generally, basically, when the second there's a recession looming, everybody cuts ad budgets. That's like one of the first things that gets cut. So in March, we saw the cuts. But then, especially for e-commerce, because all the retail stores were closed and everybody started buying online, and we saw e-commerce just explode, most of the e-commerce companies now have started doubling down on their budgets and increasing their budgets a ton, to the point now that in May and now here early in June, ad rates are at or even exceeding pre-virus levels. So really, it was like a minor dip and then almost like the V-shaped recovery, but in ad rates too. Which the thing that'll be really interesting is when all the retail comes back, which is a different discussion because I don't know how much is going to come back. Those guys are going to bring their ad budgets back. So this may end up causing ad rates overall just to grow much faster than anybody anticipated. So if you were used to getting, say, $12 CPM on Facebook, a year from now, you may be getting a 16, and you're going to have to just live with that, and I think that's going to be the new reality, especially because you have to keep in mind, too, in this period, a lot of other advertising outlets have disappeared. So like outdoor has basically disappeared. If there's no one outside, then you can't have outdoor media. You can't have billboards. You can't have subway ads. You can't have all those things. TV commercials. If all these big companies who spend tons on sporting events and all that, if all the sporting events are gone, there's no ads to be there. So basically, the ad supply has shrunk. And so the available ad channels, and especially the ones that are more performance driven, like digital, basically are getting all the money right now. Where it'll be in another year or two as things kind of normalize, hard to predict. But I definitely think that overall we'll probably see if I were to guess, I would say that we'll see probably a 20% increase in ad rates from pre-virus to like 2021, basically.
Right. We saw already, I think it was last year, the first time that online advertising surpassed television advertising as far as global advertising numbers and budget. And obviously with the pandemic and the situation this year, that's the bigger winner is going to be all the online advertisers, the Googles, the Facebooks / Instagram, Amazon.
And that's the other one. Amazon ad rates have spiked completely.
Well,
because everybody's buying on Amazon.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, sales on Amazon have gone up a ton too, but ad rates on Amazon are obscene right now. I mean, Amazon
they have become the de facto store for everything. I mean, Amazon obviously had to even change their Prime rules, as we discussed in different shows, to say we're going to prioritize first necessity type goods and not the other stuff.
Do that.
But
they're back to
they don't do that anymore. But they did it obviously at the beginning just to prioritize things that were extremely demand and needed and all that stuff.
My point is that on Amazon, whereas Facebook, I think it's hard to I don't know across the industry globally, but I can see through our clients basically ad rates. Ad rates have probably gone up roughly 20% from pre-pandemic, and now on Amazon it's easily doubled in a lot of cases, because Amazon goes by cost per click, not CPM. And I've seen many of our clients where they were paying $2 a click and now they're paying $4 a click.
Right.
I mean, that's insane.
Which in reality, what that effectively means is that you have a certain budget for the month for advertising online.
Right, you get half as many clicks now.
Exactly. Your buying power has decreased by 20, 30, 40%.
Now, the conversion rate of those clicks, here's the thing. People are spending that money because the conversion rates on Amazon have gone up a lot too. Because basically now people don't have a choice of, because if a lot of people kind of look online for a product and then maybe go to a retail store and then they decide, okay, maybe I'll buy it on Amazon, maybe I'll just buy it in the store. Now they don't have that. Now they just go to Amazon and they just buy it on Amazon. that has increased the conversion rates a lot. Obviously, overall sales numbers on Amazon have skyrocketed. So for eComm in general, it's been a very good time. The question is, where will everything be a year from now when things are normalized? That's a major question that we don't really have the answer to. It also matters how much retail comes back. I wrote in my newsletter this week that this idea of a retail comeback, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we already know some stores are not coming back, and not just retail. I mean, even things that are not retail, like advertising for restaurants or hotels. Or
I mean more in the e-commerce context of like, how will e-commerce sales do once everything's back open and normal? I think that basically e-com penetration went from 15% to 30% of the total pie, as they call it, of consumer spending. I don't think it'll stay at 30, but I think it could easily stay at like 25%, which would be, I mean, more, not quite double, but up 80% from where we were 4 months ago. So we'll see what happens.
But the other aspect is that, as we've mentioned before here, you can see how the major platforms from Google to Facebook to Shopify, all these are trying to grow faster or add as many features as possible to their own e-commerce platforms, because they see that is where the consumer is these days. Consumers are not going to retail stores, and actually it doesn't look like they're going so much. Like everybody, we keep seeing that we need to reopen the economy. In fact, the news today with the market going down today about 5% is that they're saying even if there's a second wave, we cannot afford to shut down the economy like we did the first time. So that tells you how much of a damage was done. And then you can plug the holes as much as you can, pumping money and printing money and all that stuff. But at some point, you need to realize we need to find another solution. Maybe that works for the first 2-3 months, but we cannot do that like every time there's a reopening or something. So the part that these companies are realizing is that we need to put as less friction as possible for our platform, our viewers, our consumers, to find what they're looking for online as easy as possible. Like, for example, Shopify adding a bunch of features, even working with Facebook on other features like Facebook Shops and all stuff. Google is trying to get as much as the marketplace as possible away from Amazon as well. So everybody now is seeing, okay, we're going to try to capture these consumers that before were going to a retail store and now they're not going any longer. And now we need to get more advertisers that way. So that's another factor that I think is affecting that. So